We're live and we're laughing because Tony popped up. No, I did. So for those that were waiting to come in before, all four of you, gosh, sorry about that because I kicked Tony out of the studio as I was going to be doing this big introduction to him, and I shut everything down. So I basically fucked everything up. But I'm still going to do my big introduction. So recently I've been, as you do as a West Ham fan, you scan your channel, you try and find your peak, you try and find which one is it that I'm going to tune into at the minute. And come across, is it coming to go? Yeah, it is. The bottom of my screen, by the way, on the banner, you should see people. It says at Early Doors Football TV. Please subscribe to that channel, which I'm going to give it after I finish my big intro. I'm going to give it over to Tony to talk about that in a minute. Welcome to Tales from Upton Park, by the way, people. And a big shout out to the Brisbane Hammers. You know who you are. Go Lions from down under. So shout out to you lot. And definitely we'll be doing another one of these which marries up with your Oz time. And actually, I'll have to introduce you, Tony, to them as well. You've got a load of them down under. Good people, all West Ham. I had one of them on last week. Keith, really lovely fella.
Nice.
So anyway, shout out to them. So anyway, in regards to Tony, what I've really enjoyed, and I do genuinely advise people, subscribe, watch some of his stuff. He gets loads of different people on. He has different fans on from different teams. The banter's good. The convos just flow nicely. And respectfully, even though it's other teams, you give each other digs, but it's just an easy listen and it's a good watch. Clearly, people on there know their football as well. And Tony, which we're about to, hello, Danny Moore, which we're about to find out from what I've learned from Tony over the last few shows of watching him, he fucking loves West Ham. So, Tone, after that amazing introduction, mate, over to you, a little bit about yourself, but I feel like it's in the black now. Tell us where you come from.
Originally from East Ham. Literally 10 minutes up the road from Upton Park. Always from the back garden. You know, when the games were at home, you could hear the crowd roaring. And you just got to, even then you kind of think, where's that coming from? As a youngster. And then I remember when when West Ham obviously won the FA Cup in 1980, Mum took me up to East Ham Town Hall and perched me on top of the old pillar box so I can see, the coach come through with all them sitting up, showing the cup off and stuff like that. And I suppose, I must admit, as a youngster, I wasn't exactly much into football, but that in itself and that, you enjoyed the euphoria of being involved in that side of things. And I suppose it was later on in years that, things changed for me more, for getting involved in football, basically.
So you did start them? Did you play through that school teams and stuff like that, or
2 left feet, mate? 2 left feet. I'll be honest with that. I'll hold my head up completely. 2 left feet. It was the fact that a friend of mine, he was West Ham fan as well. Heavily, loved them. Actually wrote off to him for apprenticeships and stuff like that. Got turned down flatly. And then I got involved with St John's Ambulance because of a girl. And basically from there, he phoned me up one day and he said, I'm running an under-15 side. Could you do first day? Would you come over? And I said, yeah, sure. I'll do that. I've got no problems. I'll help you out. And there was a couple of lads I knew. And the one thing, and I introduced a friend of mine to help him coach the team. And between the two of them, they started to get things going. But at the same point, because they knew these 2 young lads, they thought, give them a clip around the back of the head. And I said, can't be doing that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get the parents on your back. Oh, we're only joking. I said, nah. And I got quite vocal about it because it became a consistent thing.
Yeah.
And obviously the players either liked that or, that I stood up for them. Because when it comes to the end of the season, got into pre-season the next year, and then they basically turned around and said to him, and that we don't want you as manager anymore. We want me. So it's a case of, what? Okay, fair enough. And what was the name of it? We have something that
was that season then. So however long that transitional period was from when that all kicked off from you arriving to them making that decision, did you get involved in the training and stuff with a bit how did the lads get to know you then to want you to take over?
Because I was there at all the training sessions as well, so I got involved in that way and speak to them and stuff like that. And then, of course, with the games, and I suppose at that point onwards, they started to know me a bit more. But then the pre-season came along, and when it happened, it was a case of, well, that's what's been decided. So that's the way it was. And then, of course, I signed two new players, a left back and a right back. And at the time, I already had a right back. So the right back and that, I put him up top.
Nice.
And that season, he banged me 25 goals.
Well, do you know what? I've got to interject quickly here. If Lopetegui's watching this, yeah, is this what he's trying with AWB at the fucking minute?
It could be the case, mate. He's not taking the right notes, Jay. That's what it is.
He's not watching your playbook, brother.
You know what I mean? I'll have to get the paperwork out the drawers of that and send it off to him and that, email him. So we go from there and there. Before I carry on,
what a shift from right back to 25 goals. How old are the kids at this stage?
These are the under 15s at the time.
So they're decent. That's when they're starting to get decent at that age as well.
Yeah. I mean, did have some good players there. I mean, we had a centre mid, East throw, even at that age, from the halfway line, and that'll get the edge of the 18-yard box. He had a excellent set of a throw. Unbelievable what he could do about it. And then I had a couple of crazy ones as well. There was a striker, and then remember him scoring a goal one time and he suddenly thought he was an aeroplane, started running around and arms in the air and making all funny noises and stuff. That was that. Those people. Big up to E. Ross. Big up to yourself, mate.
Actually, sorry, people, because I'm there pointing at this. Shit I am at the minute. I'm pointing like, well done, people. And they must be thinking, what's he pointing at? My comments. So sorry, everyone.
Big up to the assembly.
Tony.
No, it's Mama Flossie.
I've got a big up there from Mama Flossie. She picked me up the other day. Ton, I like that. Is that a nickname? Ton?
Yeah.
Right, Mama.
Even usual. Hope you're keeping well. Anthony, my partner in crime. Big up, lads. I think like better than Son.
All right, let me get these up, mate. Yes, sorry.
Big up Johnny Bethnal Green.
I'll big up anyone for Bethnal Green. That was a little haunt for me for a bit.
Evening, Dougie.
Hello.
But there's a reference.
Hello. And who is that? Sorry, about it.
Anthony saying there's a Rafa Benitez going on.
I love it. But so that sort of because the thing is, when, and I'm saying this obviously from a place of great respect, when you haven't played, from my experience, so I coached my son's team out here. They're under 13s, and it's really funnish. There's my Spanish, funnish apparently, because I was just about to say I've had to try and brush up on my Spanish, right? But when I get so into the football, so I'm doing my best with me Spanish bits, and then every now and again it'll be like, fucking hit him, and I'm like, my missus, she won't come over anymore. She's like, it's so embarrassing. I said, babe, I'm working on it. But my point is, I played non-stop. I love playing. I lived to get up in the morning before school. Play.
Yeah.
First play, lunchtime play, after play, get home. Wanstead Flats was like my nearest. Yeah, so that sort of progression into falling in love with the sport from that playing perspective. Because you're saying you just by choice, you didn't go down that route. You fell into love. Was that the first sort of real involvement when you started coaching that team from that perspective of, because that's the real analytical point of football, isn't it? It's coaching. You've got to look at. It's an interesting, because I say to people, it's not a deeper love, but you need to go deeper into it to make an impact. I've realised that as well. You can't just think, right, because I've played and I know what I learned that. You've got to look at the game totally differently from when you're just a fan or just one player because you play in one position. Do you know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
You've got to have that overview.
You do look at it in a different way, because obviously you're looking at the players and you've got to try and get this lot to gel. I mean, fortunate enough at the time, it was a manageable size. I think we had about 16 players, so that's quite manageable, and you can mix it around. And of course, I think there's only a couple that would lose out with the substitutions. Evening, Colin. Evening, Ricky as well. Obviously, Ricky's a regular on your show. I know he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when you look at something like that, it was good. And then that season, we finished second. We missed out on a team that was top. I mean, they were a quality side, but we played them in the final, and it went to extra time, went to pens, and we beat them on pens.
Wow, that's one of them. That's like that sort of thing as a coach, that's an FA Cup win. Like they're the sort of moments, isn't it? I mean, you must have gone ballistic.
Mate, well, as you said, once the flats and that, do you remember the old Macmillan Stadium?
Yeah, of course.
That's where the final was held. It was held there.
Ah,
It was held there. So when you look at that, I mean, we had our little kind of parents come along, the kind of thing. The other team, they were packed to the rafters basically, and when they lost that game, their manager, basically the fans, as you might as well call them, virtually turned on him, hit the jump in his car, do a 3-point turn, sped off and that, and unfortunately managed to hit a post. He smacked in all his lights and stuff like this. It was great stuff.
and this is kids football.
Yeah, kids football got to feel like, you know. But we kind of went on for one more season. Then we kind of the kids obviously at that stage we want to do other things. There, big up to E7 as well.
Big up Louis boy. Yeah, he's sick with man flu, by the way. So loads of diddums to you, Lou. Loads of diddums, mate. And if the missus ain't spoiling you, it's as bad as pregnancy. They tell me. I'm only joking, jokes. But it is real. Sorry, jokes.
but then obviously come back to starting an adult team, and my two right back, the left back and the right back, who I signed from the under 15s team, joined this other team and then got me involved. And then it was a team called Nadet, and they played out of Custom House, Silvertown, around that area. And literally we're a pub team, like usual. John Dick over Fairlock Waters, bloody hell. Yeah, that place. Big up Experience Ranger. Yeah, I'm good. I hope you are as well, mate. Good to see you. And good evening to Russ Morgan, or good evening, early doors. Good to see you. But Dougie didn't need to teach over any marshals as well, guys. Bloody hell. Fell up donkeys years ago. Look at that. Bringing all the old memories back.
Tell you what, it's what the pals from Upton Park does to people. I'm telling you,
oh, mate. This one. So anyway, we started. I took over this. I came over and watched about 6 training sessions, and then I just called them all together and said, "I'm changing the name, changing the train, changing everything about it." And then we started up East Thames, and that started in 1993. And that first season, we should have won the game, we should have won the league. But my keeper has been outstanding for the whole season. He kicks the ball and his foot stubs into the ground, and literally it just kind of lofts over, hits their forward on the back. He looks around and thinks, "What's that? Oh, it's a fucking ball." Bang, puts it away. And we lose that by 2 points to win the league, kind of thing. And then a week later, we played them in the final, the Lord Stanley. And it was 0-0 at half time. Second half, we go out. From that, we get a corner. From the corner, we score a goal. The referee was the chairman of the league. He blows up. And he says, "There's a push." And even the Lord Stanley players look at him and think, "Who fucking pushed through?" They all look like this, like, you know. And then we managed to lose the game on the counter. And we lose it 1-0. But the thing was, they had their fans one side. We played the final at Clapton Football Club, the old Spotted Dog.
Yeah.
So our fans were on one side, their fans were on the other side. So they're calling it the Lord Stanley, East Thames Blue and White Army, blah blah blah. When that goal went in for Lord Stanley, or when we got our goal disallowed, something changed. And even though we lost the game, the one thing I'll never forget to the day I die is the fact that the Lord Stanley fans were shouting out our name because they knew we got robbed. Basically. And then we found out a week later, where did the chairman drink? The Lord Stanley. Yeah. You know, yeah, of course, mate. Corruption to the hill. Tony, you're on top with Mr. Yes, I am indeed on with Mr. Burns from The Simpsons tonight. Yes, Jez, Master History and more of a spotlight. Yes.
There we go. We've got Damien. Hello, Mum. Again, Damien. Good to see you.
Evening, Damien. Big up the Lord Stanley.
Philip Waters and the Fistful of Rain. Yes, Philip Waters was a nightmare.
Yeah, but Philip Waters, mate, you know, when you look at that, well, it was Hainault, it was the park, you know, Hainault, it was Philip Waters, wasn't it? That pitch, you can never close it down. Now, this was the one that was not in Poplar, this was actually Plaistow. That's the one, yes, they're Plaistow. That's the one. Yeah. The one in Plaistow. That's it, yeah, absolutely, Damien. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, so get you back. I'm knocking you off here with the comments, but out of curiosity, when you do your shows, what do you do? Do you go through each of the comments as they're coming in normally?
I try to keep up as best as I can. Sometimes, I
Yeah.
I let it slip a little bit, and then all of a sudden I try and catch up. But at the
Yeah.
same point, you do it as best as possible.
One thing on this show, on any of that stuff, we always said, like, oh, by the way, Nick, how bad me? Shout out to Luigi, shout out to Sam, and shout out to Nick, my colleagues, obviously on this channel as well, boys.
Yeah.
Both Nick and Luigi are sick at the minute, so shout out to both of you. You're getting lots of cuggle wuggles, boys, you snotty noses. And also, just quickly shout out to Kez and Denz, who's Kez normally, she's a West Ham fan, she normally leaves. He probably has actually left an audio message. We'll get to in a minute, people. If any other one has, I will play them. And shout out to Denz, who's recently joined our My Safe Space area as well. But mate, so from that coaching, from your days of switching right backs to 25 goal strikers, to then sort of getting into YouTube now as well, because it's a jump, isn't it? Like, I don't know what you felt like. What was your drive to do it out of curiosity? Because obviously now that we've started our channel as well, what was your motivation to jump on and get the early doors football up and running?
Well, fun of it was my brother-in-law, because he was on with the late great Claude from Claude and the Bouncers. Sorry, because I saw that message there. We actually used to do it in the Prince Albert in Plaistow. We'd all meet up for Sunday night kind of thing. That's what gelled the team together by doing that.
Nice.
That's for sure. Yeah. But no, my brother-in-law, he joined Claude, made it Claude and the Bouncers. And that went on for quite a few years. That's how I know Anthony Herbert, through the channel for the chat. There you go. Like, he's subbed to you as well, Jay. Brilliant. But
nice one.
But that kind of got me appetite for it, because it was great to see that interaction with people in the chat. People doing this, and it was a case of like, when do I do it? And first of all, I kind of held back, and then see, look, Mum has done the same thing as well. There you go, Jay, looking after each other.
Yes, thank you very much, people. I'm not doing it for that. I am. I only got one.
But that's what kind of got into it. And then, fun enough, when you look at it, with Yeti, Mama Flossie, Anthony, Fuzzy. He's a diamond geezer.
Brilliant.
Some of the comments he comes out with is brilliant. But we made our own kind of community as a YouTube thing. We kind of made our own thing, and that's how we bounced off of each other. So it's good in that. And then, of course, I am where I am now, kind of speaking to other people, other channels. I mean, I've gone into a few American shows as well. Great stuff, and it's what he does.
And mate, just want to interject there, because that we spoke of. So basically, the snotty nose boys looking for some. That's it. And quickly shout out to Danny Moore, who shouted out himself and Bosh. Shout out to Danny Moore, mate. But no, I was saying to Nick, to Lou, we've been speaking about you recently. Funny enough, because I was saying, because it's funny. I don't know about other people. I'd be interested to know in the chat, but I tended to float from different channels from time to time. And do you know what? Shout out to all West Ham channels as well, by the way. Everyone that supports West Ham, have a good Christmas. And yeah, shout out to all channels, West Ham. So I've floated between different ones. I've done some work with Come and Brews previously on that channel as well. And what I was saying to Tony before we came on, well, by the way, I didn't know if you clocked time. I was having a poo at the time. I just didn't tell you that. But whilst I was on the
I wonder why you're straight in your face when you're talking.
On the phone talking to Tone, see what I did there? On the phone talking to Tone, and I was saying to you, wasn't I? Like, what I like, because it's sort of, for me, like you just popped out of nowhere. I hadn't seen or didn't know about the, and again, people, it's scrolling along the bottom at Early Doors Football TV. What I liked about it was, well, first thing I saw was you had other people. So I initially just thought, because I hadn't heard anyone speak yet, that everyone was West Ham. Then when I was like, this is brilliant. Like, it always, for me, makes it more interesting when you do have other fans on. Because you do get, listen, I'll tell you I know football. I tell you I know my shit. I still get West Ham goggles every now and again. So having someone there who go, fuck off, mate. Like, what are you talking about? Everything, it brings that mix. And what I liked, then I watched another one of your shows. It was something different. And then tonight you was also telling me about, was it Spotlight?
Spotlight, yeah.
Spotlight, which is format, if I'm not mistaken, where you get people on, you ask them 14 questions about
themselves.
Yeah, about themselves.
Their interest, how they got into, supporting their club. And obviously, like for any content creators, it's obviously what influenced, like you've just asked me, what influenced you to get into the YouTube world,
That's it. And for me, what was interesting was it was different. And as I said to you, genuinely beforehand, it weren't just buttering you up to get you a lot. I got told me last minute on a Friday night because someone done some really bad planning today. That was me. I was like, Tone, I know he spoke to you properly before. This is pretty much what I said to him. And I know you've just told me that you wanted to relax. Because he just said to me, it's been a long week. And I'm thinking, I'm phoning him on the shit. I'm about to ask him if he come on to the show. But Grace, and just how you was on what I liked about you on camera on your shows, you was just like, yeah, Jack, do it with you. So that was brilliant. I washed my hands, obviously, before I come on. But mate, seriously, that format of the differences, and because you even had, this sounds really patronising, a yank on the other day, who actually, I felt like he's West Ham.
He's West Ham, Lawrence. Lawrence.
He knows his stuff from a West Ham perspective. You can hear it through his Yankism. And I was like, that's probably the most clued up West Ham Yank. I've not spoke to, I've just realised what I've done. HVNY, I've not spoke to you yet, so I don't know your accent and stuff before you think you cheeky git Jay. He's a Yank and he's been following us from day one. You spoke to Louis first anyway, yeah? So you cheated on me, so I'm not taking it back. But no, seriously, what's the fella's name? The Yank you had on?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. He was like, again, that shot, I thought, he's fucking talking like he's from the manor. Like, it was brilliant, brother. And for me, that's a West Ham thing, and that is to do with this show, because this show is about the culture of West Ham, of Upton Park. And even though it's called Tales from Upton Park, if you've never been from Upton Park, but you get the club and what Upton Park was, because it was an experience, wasn't it? It's like you said, from your back garden, hearing the crowd, knowing when it's the muffled cheering, that's the opposition, and knowing when it's full on, that we've scored. It's all them little things. And I remember certain times, it didn't happen often, but I think it was with my dad when we've had to go early, and you just like, as a kid, I'm like, no, I don't want to.
You don't want to go, do you?
And then you're walking off, and you hear that noise of either, because if it's the muffled noise, you think, it's not so bad. But if it's that, I'm looking at my dad like, I swear I was adopted. You ain't real West Ham.
It's true in that.
As well.
No, I get that. I mean, just say like Barry Clark in there as well. Let's hope all good. Nice to see you. Jay's in the house. Yeah, this is Jay's channel, Barry. I'm just kind of being a guest on the channel, which is great to be on here. And usual suspect asking me, heard anything about selling Kudos in January to Fund Ferguson? Yeah, I've heard something about this. I mean, obviously, the usual talk, Arsenal apparently in for him, 85 million release clause. Then you've got the chance of possibly Newcastle and I think Liverpool as well. So anything of 90 million upwards for Kudos. I think it's like I say on my show, I just believe it's because obviously he can't stand Lopetegui. And I think he wants that. So we get someone else in, great. That's what we want.
Thank you, Mama Flossie. And see what I mean? As soon as we bring up current affairs for me, like what you've just done, you've put me on the right down the time. I was happy. We was just reminiscing and you reminded me what's going on at our club at the moment, which, do you know what? It's an exception. So I'm going to mention it because for me, the most criminal thing about this whole season is what he's done to Kudus. He's our best player. I don't give a monkeys. I'm not debating that. My feelings are he's the only player in our team, even above Paqueta, that could go to any club in the world and potentially win a Ballon d'Or. He's that good. He's and the potential. Is he 23 or 24? He's still very early 20s, if I'm not mistaken.
20s, yeah.
His area for potential of what he will reach to as well is, for me personally, as good as anyone we've had at the club in regards to potentially being world class. I've always said, and I stand on it, Kudus is world class. He'd get into Barcelona. He'd get into Real Madrid. He'd get in for me to sit. He'd get into Liverpool because of the type, and not just that, they'd play him in the position that he's supposed to be played in, and he would thrive. He'd be 10 times the player that he's at us. And at the minute, watching him be suffocated, and his career basically been stalled for so long this season, is fucking criminal. That's my rant over on that. But you brought that up, so it's your fault, bro. It kills me. Anyway, I'll start going through the comments, mate.
No, it's good. Should we sell him? Possibly. I mean, if it doesn't kind of, if he's going to be in that situation where he's just going to go more and more that way, then is he going to be useful for us? No, because all he's going to do is he's going to just have a resentment build up inside him, which is a shame. But if it's the case and we can cash in on it, then sometimes you've got to cut your losses, I say.
Heartbreaking to say it, but only for the reasons that you've just said, and pretty much what I was saying before, because of the fact that as soon as a player doesn't want to be there, you got to get rid of him anyway.
Yeah,
because it is, football is as much mental as it is physical, and it's like any job you've ever done. If you don't want to be at that job, do you give your best for that job? No, you fucking don't. It's no different from football.
True.
Exactly the same.
Lawrence
is awesome. Shout out to Lawrence. Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, look, is he regular on the show?
Yeah, Lawrence comes on quite often.
Brilliant. I'll make sure. Yeah, I'm still getting to know your panel and stuff. I'm looking forward to getting to know more. Merry Christmas, Budgie. Merry Christmas to you, mate, as well. You came up, Budgie, as well. San Antonio, just confirming if it's the same Budgie that I may have had a little bit of interaction with from that other platform before, Budgie. If it is, shout out to you, mate. I love your stuff as well. That slightly older generation. Right. We're all West Ham, us Yanks. We're a special breed of an hammer. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Is that so? That's not Lawrence. It's someone else. Another Yank.
Another Yank. Another Yank.
Yeah, another Yank. I'm getting used to it. You Yanks.
So, good guy as well. Good guy. And also, very happy man. Jose, good to see you from El Cocorel. Spurs fan, really nice geezer. I met him personally. Evening, gents. A very happy chappy here. You've got to be, mate. After that result last night, that was brilliant to watch.
So he's Spurs, but he's all right, is what you're telling me.
He's a decent fella. Jose is one cool guy. Yeah.
Hispanic, yeah. ¿Qué tal, Jose?
He's a nice fella as well. I don't care what people say about him. He's all right. He's all right.
As well. Yeah, and he's a nice fella as well.
Well, you know what? Some people don't like Arsenal, Spurs peoples and that, but he's decent. Yeah, exactly. Yes, he does indeed. Yeah,
we've got a lot of Johnny Bethnal Green. But mate, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, that's suggestive. Did we have a kiss? I don't know, mate. I'd love Bethnal Green. There was a period when. How old was I then? I used to go over Myland Stadium a lot, play over there, all around that way. I'm trying to think how old I was. It was actually when I shouldn't have been going over to other pubs and playing, funny enough, because at that point I was on the books with, and I remember getting injured over. The reason I brought memory back, I was playing over at Wimbledon and I was on the books and I was told, don't fucking play anywhere else, blah, blah, blah. And it's like back then,
you shouldn't play.
You just play. It was the same period in where I lived. Do you remember Lamana Luar?
Yeah.
He lived just around the corner. Sometimes I'd take him training because he grew up. He played for the same little church team. Here's a funny story about that geezer, right? First time he's come over. He's just fresh out into the UK, right? He's just come off the plane not long ago, so he's really language weren't there. He came round to our local parish and we had a team called St. Mark's. This is in Forest Gate, right? We had a team called St. Mark's, which is a church team. So the first time we over Wanstead Flats, we had a training match and Luar was on the other team, right? And as soon as this kid got the ball, you just went, wow, what is it was just different. And he'd only been playing at that point, about a year or so. He's literally, and what else he was trained in at that stage of his life, which I'm talking is about 10 or 11 years old at this stage, if that, right, and we found this out on the same day. He was trained in martial arts because something happened, right? And he got in, listen, he got
I can
into
see where this is going.
a skirmish with one of our players. Was it Adam Panias, I think? Anyway, out of nowhere, he whipped off this flying roundhouse, like out of a movie. And like just missed Adam's face, like with his stud.
Wow.
And we've all gone, ooh.
Yeah, as you used to do. Yeah.
You know, it's one of them memories. To this day, I can see that kid, that like perfect roundhouse kick in the air, and just thinking, fucking ninja. Actually, get on with that. But anyway, back to the point, went straight off topic. Back to what Johnny was saying, Bethnal Green, around that period, so I would have been 13, 14. So yeah, I'm 28. Yeah, shut up. I'm 43 now. So that would have been fucking hell, 30 years ago, roughly. And that horrible when you can say that, Tom. Like 3 decades and know that you weren't a baby basically at that point. Like, I'm not even asking you your age. I'm not gonna do that to you.
10 years older than you, mate. That's as simple as that.
Really? Yeah. You're looking good, mate. Looking good. How long have you been supporting West Ham to be looking that good at your age, bruv? They've put me through the mill.
Botox does wonders these days, Jace. That's all I'm saying. I'd go with that.
He may be world class, but he ain't a team player. Whoa, Dougie, I'll make you right in a minute.
Not a bad shot, that.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the way he's being played as well. I think that don't help. Kudos will probably be sold to fund signings. Don't want to go, mate. I think what you said just quickly before time, when we got a player now, before we completely crucify his value by running him into the ground, if in January someone does come in, even with 90 million, and you know he wants to go, like if we can get in, because I saw something the other day about us, selling him. Someone else might have seen this as well for a striker.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then there's sense in it. But even then, my issue at the minute is, will a quality striker look at West Ham and go, yeah, I can further look at the football they play. Oh, yeah, I'll fucking jump over there. Name me one.
Straight away you could tell that that's going to be the case of, nah, they're not going to want to come to that.
I'm the best on the panel. Yes. And I'll go with that. You're the gooner, aren't you? I'm married to a gooner, so yeah. And but no, you're the best.
These thumbnails are brilliant, mate, I tell you.
Oh, shout out to Amos Mikey. We've got a thumbnail specialist as well. When they can pull stuff out, you think, how did you even get that together? Brilliant.
Look at that. It used to be Tipples RJ's Ethnica. The White Art. Yeah, that's I remember the White Art and that. It's no longer called the White Art. I think it's changed its name now. The landlady got electrocuted. Remember that one?
Such a random bit of information.
Well, what it was, it's a new landlady coming.
It's changed its name now. Yeah. Landlady.
But yeah, dodgy electric. So she got one of the locals. He said, "Oh yeah, I know a bit about electrics. I'll go down there." So there he is mucking around with it, and that next minute he's doing all this, being electrocuted. She's done no more. She's grabbed hold of him, and that she's gone as well. Hell.
You got to write that. That's brilliant.
Poor old, yeah.
Fuck, say something about you. Mind you, I was born West Ham. If that's a true story, you need to wash your skin thoroughly until you get back to that Karen Boo. You horrible geezer. Only joking. Terence Knowles. Evening, Terence.
Evening, Terence. Hope you're well, mate.
Jay was in the bath back from
the best of the best.
Big up on the chat. Yes,
yeah,
big up. Oh, we're gonna have you can't control the chat, can you? So
this is all through you. This is
I'll just see if there's, because I think Kez left a message. I just want to check, just see if she did. And if anyone else, the number of plan around, if someone wants to watch it, WhatsApp in and leave an audio message about West Ham, something nice about Tony, or if anyone's got some funny stories on Tony, message him in. I think it's Kez left one.
So David, his name is Jay. Very good character.
Right. In all seriousness, yeah, Tone, like, thanks for coming on, because this I was in bits, mate. You've saved the show, in all honesty. So yeah, so shout out again to at Early Doors Football TV. If you're not, I think there's probably more of your lot in here anyway. So shout out to all of Tony's subscribers. I bet you enjoy the same. It's refreshing. That's what I said to you before. I love the fact it's different stuff, and the different perspectives. It just makes the conversations. And you know what's nice is it's quite often I just see you'll be sitting back chilling, and I'll just watch you sort of taking it all in, and come after sort of having a good sort of listen to everyone else. Think, right, and come in, I think, well, that's a good one. That slotted in there just nice.
You try and get it, you know, doesn't always work, but yeah, you try your best.
Sorry, he's had a dig at you, and who's on the panel on the ball run. Such an interesting character.
That's Jay.
Sorry, that was what you were saying before. I got stuck on that one. Usual look fine in training. I'm just going to play shout out to Kez. Tone, can you let me know if you can hear this clearly when I play this?
Yeah, sure.
Evening, my West Ham family. Sorry I couldn't be there, make it on the live. If you'll have me, I'll come back next week. I'll be up for that, definitely. So we're obviously coming up for Christmas and thinking about going to games around Christmas time, going on Boxing Day. I used to love that. Only been a few times. But I remember I had a Father Christmas hat, but it was claret with the West Ham crest, like all on it in the white. And I also had antlers with the West Ham crest, you know, the proper one with the castle, not the one we have now. So antlers with the crest on. Yeah, love it. Something special about going up on Boxing Day. You're all sat there together, all huddled up, cold. And I used to love it. Love going up Christmas time. Just makes it that little bit extra special. Win or lose, didn't matter. We were there together celebrating Christmas and watching our beloved team play their hearts out. And always good times. Anyway,
Excuse me.
And I'll see you all next week.
Shout out to you, kids, for sharing that. And yeah, have you done the Boxing Day games? Been over there?
Yeah.
It is something special.
Different atmosphere. Excuse me.
You got any water there, mate? Listen, I've just had you on first time. Don't go choking on the show.
You know what I mean? Well, he goes.
You'll go back into that electric. You'll be part of yourself. That's what people were saying. Injury prone. Oh, was this the Danny Ings answer? Maybe because I saw someone else like Danny Ings. Danny Ings is.
Jeez.
That is a good point, because for me, it was Wade bowing down, no end. And the thing is, I had this. Someone said the other day that a captain doesn't have to be always vocal on the pitch. I'm sorry, I strongly disagree. You need for me to hear your captain on the pitch, because if he's doing the job of a captain, he's actually the ears from the coach. And if the coach is doing his job properly, he's the one going, right, this in-game managed, we need to change this, blah, blah, blah. You notice we don't fucking do that. Do you notice there ain't no vocal captain, really? What they've done, Bowen's a front foot, head down, fucking go forward player, and he's brilliant at it. He's direct as you like. As soon as you whack a captain's armband on there, you've got the expectancy and the weight just because you're captain. But then to some extent, he's got to think at some points in the game, I know I've played, like, you've let me have a look around to what other people are doing. Then all of a sudden, he's lost his edge, because he's normally the one, if it's that quick getaway, he's made that run. Like, it's only the last couple of games he's been coming back into his own a little bit. But I think giving him the captain's armband, I don't know about you, mate, on this, be interested to hear your take. I think it's, number one, he's not captain material, in my opinion. And number two, it's clearly had an effect, or it's played a part, some sort of part, in having a detrimental effect on his overall performances this season.
I said at the beginning, I did. I said that when he was given the captaincy, he was trying too hard, and you could see it affected his game the way he was. But the turning point for me has been when he scored the England goal, and I've said this before. and I've just seen a comment on that, and I agree with that. It's a case of thank you for that, HVNY Hammer. You could see that he's kind of getting a bit more, growing a bit more of a balls now as a captain. There's, you can see it with the fans when he's kind of pumping his fist in the air and he's getting involved in that way. But I'm in agreement with you. A captain needs to be more vocal. If your player's not doing something, that he lets that person know. Players, it's that barking that information out. You're good, but I need to see a bit more out of you. That kind of give up and go in your face. Come on, we're West Ham. Let's get on with it. Kilman, maybe he's the option for the time being, but at least Bowen there is getting a bit more, attacking going on like he used to, which is what we needed.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Like it's he is a quality player. He genuinely is. It's just he's one of them players. Like you said, recently he's definitely upped his game. He's upped his game. He needs to continue now. Frees England opportunities as well.
Definitely,
not just for us,
definitely.
Which should be the driving force anyway.
Howard.
But yeah, good evening. Hello, Howard. I'll go for. Listen, people in the chat, any questions as well? If there's any questions, I mean, this has been a slightly different format tonight, but we've had just want to say thank you to Tone coming on. You've freshened up my shows. You're just like a Febreze, you know that. Your show's all fresh all the time, doing different things, and you come over here, you bring your phone in, your Christmas tree. I told him, look, it's completely outdone me. I'm in front of the bin rack. Right, and everyone.
Look at that one from Terence. Read that one out, Jay. That's a good one. Go back to the one that Terence just said. Read that one out.
I know the landlady you're on about, mate. She bought 6 paintings by Well Paris many years ago. She lost a fortune after realising they'd all been touched up. Have you guessed what it is yet? Brilliant, Terence. Yeah, do you know what? On this show, by the way, it's not PC. So as long as no one's saying anything disrespectful or racist, crack on, have a laugh, by all means. What was that? Howard. Ooh. Yeah, any questions from anyone?
Big up, Howard.
Please fire away. Or any messages. Did Ricky leave a message today? No, he didn't today. Yeah, any messages at all about West Ham? That number, I said, what's that number? What's that? Big up every time inside for the Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
What's that referring to? Have I missed something there?
So you've got obviously Newcastle, Ross is Arsenal.
Oh, okay. Right, gotcha. Oh, yeah, I was relying on.
He's replied already. Talks like a bag. We see it from both sides, Johnny. We see both comments.
Who knows? Is that probably about the kudos thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Nice.
All the good booze has gone 90. That all gone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true, Johnny. Yeah, quite a few of them.
Fucking look! I did a little one of them tours online on YouTube. It broke my heart. I thought I've got to have a look at Upton Park and the bowling and everything.
Oh, it's changed around, isn't it? Changed.
Oh.
Before that commercial comes, Johnny, if you're still in the chat and that, do you remember on the Bethnal Green Road a pub called the Bahola House? It changed its name to something else. Fucking hell, that was a shithole. Basically, every person that got banned or was a down and out ended up in this Bahola House. The carpet, you were one of those. If you stayed still for too long, you couldn't wrench your foot off the floor. It was stuck to it. The bar, it had. Well, there was little flecks of varnish here and there. There was no. It was literally stripped of varnish, apart from a little few specks. The optics on the wall had fucking cobwebs on them. There was holes in the wall behind them. What else was there? Oh, you go to the toilets, fucking fear for your life if you managed to come out of that. And I remember because this is when we used to be with the pool team. Walked into the boozer. And the old landlord and that, evening, gents, for the pool? Yeah, no problem at all. What would you like to drink? And there was 8 of us, and we did it all in unison. We all went, Guinness. Because you just knew them pipes hadn't been cleaned. But if you knew that everyone was drinking Guinness, that's going to be the cleanest pipes going. So that's what we all went for Guinness.
Brilliant, fucking brilliant. You don't get pubs like don't make them like that anymore.
Oh man. Well, then we had the husband and wife, both Irish and that, back in Upton and blinded, and thought they was going to have a square on fight with each other behind us.
Oh, brilliant! That is brilliant. Our local in Forest Gate was the Forest Gate Hotel, and
bloody hell, man, yeah.
Like it was like because I went through because I remember my first proper World Cup. It's the 1990 with the Limp Pub and the Gaz and all that. It was 90, wasn't it? Was it 90?
Yeah, you ran
It was,
time,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember that was the first time that being in the pub for football, and it was the Forest Gate Hotel, right? And I just remember I kept seeing people walking in and out of the toilets, and I remember asking, like, was it my older brother or one of the other lads? And I can't remember what I asked him. So anyway, I ended up going to the toilet. I remember as a kid thinking, fucking hell, everyone in here's just got a really snotty nose. Like, and I came back out and I said it, I think it was my older brother, and he just pissed himself laughing. And it's funny because as the years go by, and I'm not glorifying this disclaimer, but as the years went by and that was sort of grew up in there, I was one of them people eventually with them shitty lottery tickets on that shitty beer, having a line in fucking. But that pub was like EastEnders, you know, the many sort of relationships and, like you said, the beef.
The clicks and all that stuff.
I remember one time, true story, the owners, husband and wife, right? I won't give their names. One time, they recorded the previous week's lottery results, right? Right? And they played, they got him to do like the missus was in on it and everything, right? They got him to play the lottery and played the previous weeks, right? And I kid you not, like it was them, mate. You could see that he's that one is coming, two's coming, three's coming, four's coming, and he's already five's coming, and then it's that. The thing is, everyone knew. And there's that quiet anticipation because everyone knows what's coming, right? So it's dropped. Tone. It was like, but the funniest thing is that he's jumping on the bar, going around, oh, you lot of cunts, I never liked it here. But it was so fucking priceless that moment. And then everyone had to tell him fucking.
Oh, you can't miss them things.
Fucking hell, it was, it's one of the things you think, that's one of them one-offs in my life. I'm never going to witness something like that again, mate. That moment of pure elation, it turned him to let everyone know his disdain for all these peasants, all you lot of cunts, like, and then to see the deflation and then the anger. I left. We was only young. We left because it was. Yeah, he didn't take that too
as you said, some of these boozers, man. I mean, what was it called? I think it was the. Where was it near? It's near between West Ham and Plaistow. I think it's called the Spread Eagle. I think you used to go. Took you over the course carpenters of the old where the old waterworks place was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know the area you're talking.
Was in there one day. And this black fella come in with dreadlocks kind of thing. And suddenly, next minute, he's getting his dreadlocks and he's putting it over his head. And he's getting this chair and he balances the chair on his head. Then he gets his light bulb and starts eating a light bulb. And you think, what the fuck is all this about? And then he gets the table, then he gets a chair and he gets something else in there, stacks it all in there. And in his mouth, he holds up this table with his mouth and dances around with it and so forth. And everyone's kind of watching this, thinking, what's going on here? And then out of afterwards, he all comes around with like a cap in hand. Yeah, I've just entertained for you. Can I have some money? Just done that for you. Let's have the fuck.
Did you pay him?
No, I didn't. No way. You sure? You want to start eating light bulbs and this and the other?
On that, you fucking
you know what I mean? Now we know where Arteta was influenced. He's the bloke with the dreads.
Brilliant. Evening to Sam. Shout out to Sam. He's part of the channel. Oi.
Evening, Sam.
Look who we got on, mate. Special guest this evening. I always get this the wrong way. Him over there. Thanks for coming on again, Tom. Let's have a look. Bowen isn't captain material.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Totally, personally. Jay, who would you choose over him at the minute? Right. Now, the thing is, before I answer, there's got to be a little bit of context, because this geezer, right? People might immediately go, "Is a liability? Is this, that, and the other?" However, I would give it to Alvarez. Is where I would. In fact, but I would have started with giving him that responsibility, because my logic behind that is, like, I'm talking from the start of the season. I would like, because if you think how impactful as like an enforcer general, how vocal Alvarez is on the pitch, how he's that player that will run in and get that challenge, win that ball back, and get you up again, get that and get the team up. That's what he did last season for us, and I think he's had a shitty. The way he's been managed and coached, he's been made a scapegoat. Do you remember that was a period where, like I said, I don't know what he was doing with AWB, but all of a sudden you had Alvarez in right back position up against people like Jackson from Chelsea, who are a million times faster than him, and of course he's then getting exposed. But for me, I would have given it the start of the season to Alvarez. Now I'll argue with myself now, because he ain't really played and because of what's happened. That's who I would have given it to. Now, it's a good question, because for me, the captain should represent in some way West Ham. There should be an element of for me, the West Ham way. And I'll go, that is a real thing. I don't give a fuck what managers have gone through our stadiums. And let's face it, they're never going to be part of our club. Your Moises, your Allardyces, they're never going to know the West Ham way or understand it and mock it, because they know they can never be a part of it. And for me, without going too much detail into that, the captain needs to know that it's, what it is to play for the badge of West Ham. And at the minute, I don't know. God, I don't know, actually. Because it would have been Alvarez, but now, because of current form and the fact he's hardly played, it's a bit of a redundant shout, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on that?
For me, I say, if it's not going to be Bowen, then I'd say Kilman.
Kilman, yeah, you said that a minute ago as well.
I think Kilman, because I think the reason why Kilman, and that is, in certain respects, as much as he's in that back four, he's kind of in a certain way seeing the same thing as a manager is, because he's defensive minded. He's going over to one side and going to the other. But when you think, I mean, some people say they can't have a goalkeeper. That could be a bit debatable. But the being where he is, he can command the other three to do things. So with that, he can see the game going in front of him. You can speak to the keeper behind him, and you could become a leader that way. Middle of the park, yeah, you could say Alvarez. I mean, Budgie, I remember when we sort of talked, he said about even Souček as that, because he kind of talks a good game afterwards when you see, like, how he acted when we won the before. Even Michael, good to see you. But for me, defender sometimes is the best one to have.
Good shout. I think the thing is, at the minute, I'm one of these people. I think, although Kilman hasn't been completely consistent, what he has done at times is show he's a modern defender, which I like. In regards to, there's that assist he done. I can't remember what game it was. The assist for Owen. Remember the dribble out from the back? B2 players put a lovely ball through, and Bowen ran on and scored. It was towards the beginning. I can't remember the opposition. Like, there's stuff he's got in his locker that I like. If he gets that armband, what I'd hope, because I looked at what Wolves fans said about him, and being vocal a lot of good things said about him. But as the captain comments I saw, was he not very vocal as a captain. Again, I don't know. I think that's that old school preference for me. Is someone said this in the chat as well? Like, a captain should be barking orders. Do you know who was a great fucking captain? Mark Noble. Like, what a captain when it comes to delivering the message of not just the coach of West Ham. Like, he could be having, let's face it, towards the end of his career, especially, he lacked.
That's true.
Even that period with Declan Rice, and again, that shows me proper West Ham. That transition from Noble to Rice. Noble managed Rice into the captain that he became. And Deck often talks about that as well, and he gives him credit for that. So yeah, that's what I miss at West Ham. Mr. West Ham. So yeah, if anyone, this is more important. Leg or breast home, wash, off you go.
Cool.
Oh, there's. Are you weighing up different takeaways from a breast from
Well,
there?
well, you think if it's a KFC, that you don't mind a chicken leg, do you? Like coating that just tastes just nice, kind of thing. Chicken breast, long as it's done nicely, succulent. Yeah, you got to go with that. Yeah, bit more meat on there as well, kind of thing. Especially a nice cut of meat. So I'll go with breast. Legs,
Love that.
legs, very close, very close.
Well, A. Ross says, I'm a leg man. Howard House, thighs preferably.
Yeah,
Like that, A. Ross.
big up, A. Ross. Yeah,
you made sure you articulated concisely what you meant. Love that. And I'm funny enough, the thighs tend to get a bit more of the flavour, I've been told, as well. Thighs is a good bit to barbecue, which I'll be doing tomorrow here in sunny Spain. Not to rub it in, just saying. Question: can we say the C word on here? For fuck's sake, you can't. You know you can't say that on here. What's the matter with you, Sam? No, you can. Internal joke. Sorry, people. It's an awful word, yet so endearing at the same time. I learned that for the first time over in the chicken run at West Ham. I've said this story many a time. I remember I'd never heard that word, and then all of a sudden, in one day, in one set of 90 minutes, I heard it. You can. I was like, looked at my dad, like, my dad, the biggest Christian going, like, and my dad just gave me that look of Jesus sort of thing. I was like, oh, I know something. I'm not going to say it, but I know something.
It's a new word I've just learned. I got to figure.
Yeah, it was like a Jesus moment. I was like, oh, cunt. So no, you can't say that on your own.
Oh, bloody hell. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say it's my favourite, but obviously, memorable-wise, obviously, is the last game at Upton Park. We won there as good, which as well. But remember when we played Middlesbrough, we won the game. I think it was May '99. We won that 4-0, and you got to look at the players back then we had. We had some decent players. We weren't going to win anything, but they were West Ham favourites. When you look at it, Sinclair did well for us. You had Canio, Defoe as well. Some great players, but it was actually kind of keeping a clean sheet for one, getting 4 goals. That's what you want, and leaving Upton Park afterwards and that cheering on the team because they put a performance in, games like that. But there's a few. I mean, there's some humdingers as well. There's no two ways about it. I mean, I suppose I know we spoke about it before my channel. Marco Boogers when he took out Gary Neville. I was there at that game. And I could see the red eyes. I could just see these red eyes as he's running because he was literally that line of sight of me. And you see him launch himself up in the air. Bang! Took him out and cheer for the crowd. That's our new forward. Oh, see you later. I think that's the last we saw of him, wouldn't it? I think was it Sheffield Wednesday? I'm trying to think what the game was, but Ian Dowie, what a bloke!
Oh, what a bloke, mate!
Come to defend the corner and power headed it in the top right hand corner. Belt with a goal. Yeah, Ian, it's down the other end, son. Don't worry about that. Down the other end.
I'd love to watch a reel of all these best moments, because you could just, if sometimes when the camera just caught him and you thought, oh, bless you, only a mother's love.
But do you remember? Again, I can't remember where we signed him from, and it was a strange signing, but big old Mike Small.
Who's Mike Small? God,
he was a big old lump. I can't remember where we got him from there. He was a big old lump.
In the chat, who remembers Mike Small?
He was, I suppose.
Google that.
He was the same kind of build like old Frank Bruno at the time, and he was just as thick. But he's a nice, gentle guy. I remember when we went to Highbury and we played Arsenal. Arsenal were all over us and that, but he banged in a winner near the end. Rafter in the shot past Seaman. It was a quality goal.
Oh, blimey. Mate, that was my favourite kit ever as well. Hold on.
That's
There's
it.
Mike Small.
Yeah, Mike Small.
Leg on him.
Yeah.
Tell you what, mate. What light would been in the shower bin when I was banged up. Bloody hell. Unit. Because funny, when just a minute ago, sorry, go off topic, go back. When you were talking about that team, I got banged up in 2002. And do you remember what happened that season with the I thought this is just the worst time ever for me. I got 5-year prison sentence. West Ham get relegated with the record number of points that anyone's ever got with a great team. So when you started talking about it, I thought there's no pleasant memories.
No.
But anyway, back to what you were saying. So Mike Small banged in the winner.
Yeah, God, bloody hell, man! I remember that. But yeah, very short-lived career with us as well. But yeah, well, we've had some characters through there, that's for sure.
Oh, mate, we are the team for any Maverick, any player that has basically been done for anything outside of football. Come to West Ham, and more than likely you get a good run for a bit because we've had some crack. Danny Moore's question: has your opinions changed over Floppy because of the pressure he's under regarding his dad? I'll be completely honest, mate, and I'm definitely a caring person. Before I say what I'm going to say, the football and his personal situation. Anyone who says disclaimer that don't bring your personal life to work, that's a myth. You can't help but bring your personal life to work. But do I change my opinion on what I've seen in regards to his ineptitude as a coach? No, I can't unsee it, Dan. So regardless, God rest the soul of his old man, genuinely. And that is a horrible thing to have on your mind whilst you're doing it. However, as my opinions change because of that pressure, absolutely not, mate. If anything, quit then. And be with your old man through that period. I'm not saying this from a judgment perspective, but that could have been an option. Could have had someone filled in, maybe a Mark Noble and Keane just for a few games, and then, I don't know. But my point is, no, absolutely not. What's your take on that? So?
I think that even with his old man, and that, it didn't stop him. It didn't stop what we saw from the beginning of the season to where we are now. Yes, his mind is obviously focused on his old man, but the same I saw about Julian Lopetegui's dad, what he was. Give me a quick look up.
Yeah, no, please. I'm interested. Obviously from a professional perspective, you're talking here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Is it something to do with football?
No, not at all.
No. Well, chip off the old block then.
I'm trying.
Mike, I agree with you, by the way, mate. That is my biggest problem. One of the biggest problems with a lot of the stuff I blame on Lopetegui. On the pitch, though, that is what the players are accountable for. That wanting to play for West Ham. Who's going to lead? Someone should be taking charge. I agree 100% there, mate. On the corner of Valence Road. Hey, bringing up Arsenal. Go on, mate. Go on.
His dad, his father, Jose, he was 94. So he had a good innings, and that's a nice life to that. But he was a champion weightlifter.
Oh.
And he competed in the best sport of stone lifting.
Cool, that's like them power lifter, like them strongman things, isn't it? The big
basically, them things. Yeah, that's the thing. Bringing up Arsenal West Ham stream, but we're a bit similar when it comes to the Odegaard, good player, but 100% he was. He's no captain. I remember the game where I think it was against us. I think it might have been when you've got Zinchenko rallying the troops and that, and Odegaard walking past you. That's your captain there. Rice all day long. There you go. Michael Blees just said it as well. Get his proper old paddy pub, weren't it? Absolutely, Johnny. Yeah. It definitely was. It changed itself to something else. Percy Dalton, peanut seller. Yes, Peter. Evening, mate. The peanut seller. What a man. Do you remember the Aberdeen, Jimmy Fagg on the piano? God, dear me, there's some. Dover Castle's on the right day, Howard, I've heard saying this as well. He might not be liking what he's, because I think we all and no disrespect to Ross, but I think we all had a little bit of a giggle when he turned and said, he wants to move on to win things, and he joined Arsenal. So, are you really?
Big.
Right.
And then who's up next? Andy Herbert. Did you enjoy that comment, Andy Herbert? He basically said, "You lot shit." Tony, favourite West Ham manager was Southampton. What are your thoughts on this? I think he's bloody lost the plot. I knew that when season 1 EPs from Good and Bad and the Ugly started. Love that. But mate, I'm conscious of because you've got something else.
Yeah, 7:30. I've got the
right.
other
Yeah,
show coming,
so I want to. I'll quickly just go through.
Look at that one. Look, early
Which
J,
one?
AKJ doors. Look at that.
Have you done that? Quality. I'm in the house. I'm part of the 50s gang with that, you know.
Yeah,
Love that. Yeah. If Lopetegui don't leave coming into the season, that's probably not going to be far off what's going on, to be honest. We're stuck with this level of mediocrity. The spread eagle. I'll quickly go through the chats. Quite there's loads.
Up the Abbas, yeah.
I'm everywhere now, haven't I? Smash the like. Smash that like. You know what I mean?
What's it getting granted the pub? Pete, he went far off of it. Yeah, we have a new one, Mother Flossie. Yeah, we do have a new one.
There you go. Gonna say
Alvarez, yeah, good chat as well. Yeah, good chat.
Thank you everyone from Tony's channel as well. And if there is anyone on from at that West Ham channel, please make sure you subscribe. It's been going there the whole time. So there's no excuses not to. That's just laziness. If you ain't subscribed to this channel, you've been watching this, you're being lazy with your fingers. Let's face it. Right, so Michael Breeze Hopes have been crying out for us to be captain for a while. So we've got Gooners in here. Won't spend too much time on their comments. You've got good. Really started from the beginning that response you made. Yep.
Yeah.
Discipline. Yeah, absolutely. We've calmed him down a bit. That responsibility.
Absolutely really agree with that.
Yes, Peter. Absolutely. Oh, like Bonds, exactly. Oh, speaking of Bonds and speaking of managers, when's the last time you had any West Ham game where we're screaming, you know, like that Billy Bonds? He's like, fucking don't do any of that anymore. It's gone, isn't it? Situations is much as canon. Yeah, and I get that as well. I do get that. See that. Right, people, I'm conscious of Tony's time. Right, so thank you. Any comments I've missed, I do apologise for this evening. But
yeah, look, the next comment Mama Flossie's put as well, Jay. Put that one down, Mama Flossie.
Where's that? Sorry,
just underneath the one you want highlighted at the moment, and go give Jay's channel a sub as well.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah,
Steve, West Ham United. Bill, good to see you, Steve.
Good to see you, mate. It's good stuff for you, Steve. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. E20 Zone in that James's channel. Shout out to that. That's that channel, isn't it?
I've got James on. I've got the spotlight coming up, and big up to E20 Zone as well. TV, good to see James on here. I've got Jez from Arsenal History and More. You already spoke to him on the Sunday night takeaway as well, right. James.
Well, listen. Like I said, people, sorry that I didn't for everyone's messages, but I just want to say thanks very much for jumping on. I really enjoyed that. So, regardless, and being selfish. Don't get what anyone else thought, mate. It was good chatting to you, bro.
Absolutely.
Just next time I'm coming on yours, mate. You watch the backdrop I'm coming with, bro. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. If you're free Sunday, mate, because obviously going to try and get a few people bouncing on the Sunday night takeaway show, because obviously it's going to be the last one before the year fins. So I'll give the link out to you for that one.
Yeah, lovely. I'll come on. But listen, everyone in the chat, lastly, happy Friday. Have a lovely weekend, people. Remember all the banter and everything else aside from that, from football. I genuinely hope all of you are all in good health and you have a fantastic Christmas. And just for the record, I'm going to be shameless for this because it's a wonderful place. There's a platform which is called My Safe Space. I don't think I've talked to you about this with you, Tom. I think Nick might have mentioned it.
A little bit. Talked to me about it, yeah.
A wonderful platform. So what I do professionally for a living is I'm a coach and I've been for a long time. I work with people for mental health, with cancer and all sorts. My point is we've got a really good platform where we've got other coaches that work with people with addiction. We've got women coaches and it's a really, really nice, it's called My Safe Space. And it is exactly that. And that side of being a human being, we do genuinely care. It's not a football channel. It's called My Safe Space. It's about creating a platform where people feel safe enough to be vulnerable, to go over things. And we've got people on there that will genuinely listen. Now, this time of year as well, it can get a little bit lonesome for certain people. So we've got, if you're interested, please put a message and I'll get in touch with you. You can learn about more information about that. But anyway, genuinely, Tony, again, thanks, brother. I'm really pleased that you come on.
No, thanks, Jay. Thanks for the invite.
No, anytime, bruv, definitely. And thanks to everyone from Tony's channel that has liked and subscribed and everything to my channel. It does mean a lot. So thanks a lot. Have a good one, mate. I'll let you go, yeah?
Cheers
fella.
And people in the chat, thanks very much. Have a good Christmas, everyone. Take it easy.
I've done it again, Tony. I do this every time I do some sort of